Hello all, Shadwell here, ready to talk about the next film in my collection, Don't Open Til Xmas from 1984. It's the 16th film in the 50 Drama Movie Classics collection, is directed by Edmund Purdom, and stars Edmund Purdom and Alan Lake. Several of the films in this 50 Drama Movie Classics collection have been the retitled cut version of the original movie, but Don't Open Til Xmas has been presented poorly in its fully uncensored and originally titled Glory. I gotta say that this film didn't really leave an impression on me, and that is the best and worst thing I can say about it. Sure, there are a few other things, but the main thing I'd like to point your attention to is that this film isn't really worth your time in either a good or a bad way, and certainly not in a so bad it's good kind of way. Don't Open Til Xmas is set in London in the 80s, where a masked killer is going around and killing people dressed in Santa suits, with the exception of the first two people bumped off at the beginning of the movie. Because neither of them are dressed as Santa Claus, they're just fucking in a car, which means this film starts out like a generic slasher film instead of a holiday-themed one. But for the rest of the film, except for the last couple of kills that cover their tracks, all the kills are Santa-related. Really briefly, I want to talk about the opening title sequence because it is so painfully obvious this film wanted to remind us of Halloween, because in Halloween the opening titles run with the titles on the right half of the screen and a jack-o'-lantern slowly being pushed on visually on the left half of the screen. In Don't Open Til Xmas, the opening titles run similarly, with the titles on the right half of the screen and the left-hand half of the screen being populated by a garden gnomish figurine of Santa Claus being set on fire and slowly burning up. There is one scene that is worth talking about, I guess, where a guy in a Santa outfit is relieving himself at a urinal when the killer cuts off his penis and the urine is replaced with spurts of blood. It's actually really off-putting. It gets a reaction out of me, and not a happy one, that's for sure. I mention it because it's the only other part of the movie, other than the opening titles, that I responded to. The killer's motivation doesn't even give one pause to think all that much, because it's exactly what you'd assume, that as a kid the killer saw mommy doinking Santa Claus. Big whoop. Those jokes have been flying around the schoolyard since the beginning of fucking time. This film just happens on the screen, and by the end I feel nothing. So I'm going to give Don't Open Til Xmas a D, because I can't justify giving it anything higher than that, and yet it doesn't feel like it was bad enough to deserve an F, if that makes any sense. Tomorrow it's Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. See y'all then.